Hi students, in the last class we discussed about making of cotton yarn and also making of jute yarn. Cotton, we can collect cotton fiber from cotton balls, like that jute fiber coming from stem of jute. Okay, but that particular jute fiber we can convert into, by spinning process we convert jute fiber into jute yarn. On weaving we convert jute yarn into jute fabric. Jute fabric is used to prepare gunny bags and also covers. Okay, this is about the natural fibers, jute and cotton. Now I will explain again spinning process, the definition of spinning, and finally another definition, weaving. Another definition is weaving. So what is the definition of spinning? What is the definition of spinning? Spinning definition means the process of making of yarn from fiber is called, the process of making of yarn from fiber is called simply the process of making of long threads from small thread like structures is called spinning. That means the process of conversion of these small thread like structures into long thread, we will call it as spinning. The process of making of fiber, the process of making of yarn from, the process of making of yarn from fiber is called spinning. For spinning purpose we can use our two hands, otherwise we can also use an instrument, its name is takli. Another instrument is also there, its name is charka. For spinning purpose we can use takli or charka. The last and final concept, the definition is weaving. Weaving, by using weaving process we can convert yarn into fabric. That means on weaving, by using weaving process we can convert yarn into cloth, this type of cloth. That means the process of making of fabric means simply cloth. According to your textbook, fabric means simply cloth. Fabric, the process of making of fabric from fabric, making of fabric from fiber or yarn? From yarn. Yarn made from fibers, fabric made from yarn. The process of making of fabric from yarn is called weaving. Weaving process carried out on looms. In Telugu maramaggalu. They are person doing like this on that particular loom. Okay, the process of making of fabric from yarn is called weaving. Okay, in weaving process the yarn threads, that means long threads, some long threads are arranged as horizontal, some long threads are arranged as horizontally, some long threads are arranged as vertically, some long threads, spun off long threads are arranged as horizontally, spun off long threads are arranged as vertically. With the help of loom we can weave that particular cloth. That means we can convert yarn into cloth with the help of, that means with the help of weave we can convert this type of cloth, this type of structure. This is called fabric. Say for example, take two different color papers, take different color strips. Say I will explain with this particular concept. Take different color strips. One is black in color, okay, another in blue in color. Say for example, take two different, another one is black in color and another one is blue in color. Okay, take different paper strips and arrange vertically two types of color strips and arranged vertically. Say for example, all are black strips. Let us assume all are black strips. Arrange all black strips, paper strips as vertically, one by one, arrange vertically. Now take another color strip, that is blue color strips, and arrange horizontally, and arrange horizontally, and arrange horizontally. Here, say for example, this is one black color paper strip, this is second black color paper strip. Now arrange another, these four are the four paper strips arranged vertically one by one. Now arrange another paper strips horizontally like this, horizontally like this. That alternatively, this is alternatively. In this way, by using looms, we can prepare fabric from yarn in this way, not in this way, not like this, in this way. Alternatively arrange horizontal yarn. In this way, we can prepare fabric from yarn. This is called weaving process. Looms are two types. First one is looms are two types. Some looms are worked, looms which are worked with the help of manpower. Looms which are worked with the help of manpower is one type of looms. Looms which are worked with the help of machines. Looms which are worked with the help of machines are another type of looms. Looms are two types. One is based upon manpower. That means man handle that particular loom. Another loom is based upon mission. That means mission handle that particular loom. This is about looms and also weaving process. Now I will explain two questions to you. First question is what happens? First question is what happens? Question, I will explain two questions. What happens? When raincoat is made up of cotton fabric? Question mark. What happens when raincoat is made up of cotton fabric? This is my first question. Second question, draw a flow chart. For the conversion of, draw a flow chart for getting cotton fabric from cotton tree. This is my second question. So first question is what happens when raincoat is made means made up of cotton fabric. What happens when a raincoat is made up of cotton fabric? My second question is draw a flow chart for getting cotton fabric from cotton tree. First I will explain this particular question. What happens when raincoat is made up of cotton fabric? Okay, what happens? Okay, raincoat is made up of nylon fabric. Why? Because nylon is water resistant. It is a waterproof material. It does not absorbs water. But cotton is having more absorbing nature of water. Natural fibers are having more absorbing nature of water. If you made a raincoat with cotton fabric, immediately that raincoat absorbs high amount of water. The purpose of raincoat is not there here. Why we are using raincoat? To protect our body from rain. Raincoat does not absorb any water present on the rain. That means present on that particular cloth. Raincoat does not absorb any water. Single water drop does not absorbed by raincoat. If you wear a raincoat made up of cotton fabric, immediately that raincoat absorbs all amount of water. There is no use as a raincoat by using cotton fabric. There is no use. If you wear a raincoat made up of cotton fabric. Okay, this is about, you will write your answer in your own way. So we can only prepare raincoats with nylon fabric, that means synthetic fibers only, absorbs less amount of water. We cannot prepare, you never try to prepare you never try to prepare raincoat from cotton fabric or wool fabric or silk fabric or jute fabric, because they absorbs high amount of water. Its nature is its nature, it absorbs high amount of water. Okay, next question, write your answer in your own way as your wish. You will write your answer in your own way. Draw a flow chart for getting cotton fabric from cotton tree, that means cotton fabric from cotton tree. How? Draw a flow chart, that means from cotton tree. From cotton tree we can collect cotton fruits. From cotton fruits we can collect cotton balls. From cotton balls we can collect cotton fiber. From cotton fiber we can collect cotton yarn. From cotton yarn we can convert cotton yarn into cotton fabric. Flow chart. Now I will write the flow chart related to conversion of cotton ball into cotton fabric. First one, cotton balls. First step, cotton balls taken from cotton tree. Cotton balls, on which process, by which process we can convert into cotton fabric? Cotton balls on the process of ginning. By the process of ginning, process of removal of seeds from cotton balls is called ginning. By the process of ginning we can convert cotton balls into cotton fiber. We can convert cotton balls into cotton fiber. Okay, next we can convert cotton balls into cotton fiber by the process of spinning. By the process of spinning, by which process? Spinning. By the process of spinning we can convert cotton fiber into cotton tree. First, cotton tree or cotton plant. Cotton plant to cotton balls. By using ginning process we can convert cotton balls into cotton fiber. By using spinning process, cotton fiber can be converted into cotton yarn. On weaving process. By the process of weaving. What is the definition of weaving? The process of making cotton fabric from cotton yarn is called weaving. Very, very important definitions. Weaving, I will explain again. Weaving, by the process of weaving we can convert cotton yarn into cotton fabric. This is the flow chart representing conversion of cotton balls into cotton fabric. This is the flow chart for representing conversion of cotton plant into cotton. Say for example, these are coming from cotton balls by removal of seeds from cotton balls. These are thin thread like structures. By using spinning process we can get thread like structures. With the help of looms we can convert these type of thread like structures, we will call it as yarns, into fabric, that means cloth, by using looms. The process of making of fibers into yarn from fibers is called spinning. Simply, conversion of fiber into yarn is called spinning. Conversion of yarn into fabric is called weaving. Simply, conversion of this into a long thread like structure is called spinning. Conversion of long thread like structures into this type of cloth fabric is called weaving. This is about the definition of ginning, definition of spinning, definition of weaving. Okay, in our Andhra Pradesh state, loom industry developed. Okay, some places are some places are famous for loom industry, maramaggalu in Telugu. Okay, loom industry. Some places are famous for loom industry. What are there? I will explain what are there. First one, some places which are famous for loom industry are, first one is Venkatagiri. First one is Venkatagiri, which is a place present in Nellore district. Places famous for handloom industry. Handloom industry. What is the definition of handloom? Means the looms which are worked based upon manpower, manpower is called handlooms. The looms which are worked based upon manpower is called handlooms. The looms which are worked based on machine power is called power looms. They are called power looms. Looms are two types, handlooms, power looms. Power looms are worked based upon machines. Handlooms worked based upon manpower. So places famous for handloom industry are, first one Venkatagiri. It is a place present in Nellore district. It is a place present in Nellore district. It is the one of the place present in Andhra Pradesh which is famous for handloom industry. In Telangana, some places are famous for handloom industry. Siricilla, Pochampalli, Gadwal. Okay, Siricilla, Pochampalli, Gadwal are famous for handloom industries. Okay, are famous for handloom industry. Very, very important bit, Warangal. Is famous for carpet industry. Carpets, you know, we have some idea about carpets. Warangal is famous for carpet industry. Okay, carpet industry. With this we completed this lesson. In this lesson we discussed about definition of fiber, definition of yarn, definition of fabric, and definition of spinning, definition of weaving. And also we discussed about natural fibers. Those are jute and cotton. We discussed about some of the things made from different types of fabrics, and also we discussed about characteristic properties of some synthetic fibers and natural fibers. Now I will explain some of the bits there in your syllabus as box points in the textbook. Okay, we start bits in your chemistry subject. Okay, first we start with important bits. These bits are not covered in these 3 lessons. These bits are there as box points in the lesson. Okay, bits in chemistry. Then if time permits, I will explain also definitions again. Okay, bits in chemistry, bits. So bits. So we start with first. Okay, we start with first one of the bit. First, size of water drop is. Say for example, this is water drop. Okay, say for example, it is spherical in shape. What is the size of water drop in numerical value? What is the size of water drop? Size of, write down bits. Size of water drop is. That means the size of water drop varies from place to place. its value does not constant, it changes. Okay, size of water drop is 0.02 inch to 0.31 inch. Size of water drop is 0.02 inch to 0.31 inch. Size of water drop is 0.02 inch to 0.31 inch. That means its value may be 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, 0.05. That means up to 0.31. It varies between 0.02 to 0.31. Maybe 0.02 or in between 0.02 to 0.31. Simply you will by heart as 0.02 to 0.31 inch. Inch is the units of size of water drop. Inch is the unit for size. 1 inch equal to 3 centimeters nearly. Actually 1 inch equal to 2.56 centimeters. Inch means this length is called inch. This length is called inch. 1 inch equal to nearly 3 centimeters or exactly 2.56 centimeters. So size of water drop is 0.02 inch to 0.31 inch. Next bit. Second important bit. Who discovered? Who discovered? Who discovered umbrella? Very, very important bit. Who discovered umbrella? Who discovered umbrella for what purpose? Who discovered umbrella for what purpose? Egyptians discovered umbrella. Who discovered umbrella? Egyptians. Egyptians. Who discovered umbrella? Which country people discovered umbrella? Egypt people. We will call it as Egyptians. Egyptians discovered umbrella. For what purpose? To protect their bodies from sun heat. To protect their bodies from sun heat, not from rain. They discovered umbrella. First they discovered umbrella to protect their bodies from sun radiations. Who discovered umbrella? Egyptians discovered umbrella. Third important bit. These bits are very, very important. Okay. Third important bit. Small water droplets are called small drops of water. Small drops of water is called. On a rainy day, you will observe some water droplets are coming from the sun. These small water drops, only small water drops, not large water drops. Small drops of water coming from rain is called drizzle. Drizzle. In Telugu, chinukulu. Chinukulu. In Telugu, chinukulu. Small drops of water is called drizzle. Fourth one. Okay, sometimes big water drops solidify on cooling and falls as big pieces of ice. Very, very important. Big pieces of, this bit is there in your rain lesson. Sometimes big water drops solidify on cooling and falls as big pieces of ice. Is known as, very, very important, is known as sometimes water drops present in clouds solidify. Big water drops present in clouds solidify and convert into ice, and they falls as big pieces of ice into the atmosphere, from the clouds to the atmosphere. In Telugu we will call it as Vadagallu. In Telugu we will call it as Vadagallu. That big pieces of ice we will call it as Vadagallu. In English we will call it as hailstones. We will call it as hailstones. Hailstones. Very, very important definition. Okay, define hailstones. Sometime big water drops solidified on cooling and falls as a big pieces of ice is known as hailstones. Okay, this is about fourth point. Fifth point. India's largest salt lake is, very, very important GK bit. India's largest salt lake is, salt lake means, India's largest salt lake means, in that salt lake, the water salinity is more. It is more salty. That means in our India, the lake which is having highest salinity, that means India's largest salt lake is Chilka Lake, Chilka, which is present in Odisha state. Chilka Lake, very very important bit. India's largest salt lake is Chilka Lake, which belongs to Odisha state. Okay, another important bit is, okay, speed of raindrop is very very important. Size of raindrop, we discussed about size of raindrop, 0.02 inch to 0.31 inch. That means it varies from 0.02 to 0.31. It may be 0.02 or in between the value of 0.02 to 0.31. ఇట్స్ అంటే ఇన్ తెలుగు 0.02 నుంచి 0.3 మధ్యలో ఎంతైనా ఉండవచ్చు. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ స్పీడ్ ఆఫ్ raindrop. Speed of raindrop coming from the cloud is 7 to 8. 7 or 8, that means 7 to 8. This hyphen means 7 to 8 miles per hour. 7 to 8 miles per hour. 7 to 8 miles per hour. That means we will express speed in miles per hour. 1 mile equal to how many kilometers? 1 mile equal to how many kilometers? Once again, speed of raindrop is 7 to 8 miles per hour. 7 to 8 miles per hour. 1 mile equal to 1.6 kilometers. Simply 1.5 kilometers. 1 mile equal to 1600 meters. Kilometer, that means 1.6 into 1000. 1 kilometer is equal to how many meters? 1000 meters. 1.6 into 1000, 1600 meters. Okay, 1600 meters. Very very important bit. Another bit. So already we discussed white gold is dash. White gold is called salt. Already we discussed about that particular one. Next, very very important bit. Who discovered waterproof garments? Waterproof garments, simply waterproof jacket. Who discovered? Very very important bit. Who discovered waterproof garments? In Telugu, cloths. Waterproof garments. Who discovered waterproof garments? Answer is Charles Mackintosh. Who discovered? Charles Mackintosh. Spelling is very important. Charles Mackintosh. Who discovered waterproof garments? Charles Mackintosh. In which year? Next question. Charles Mackintosh belongs to which country? Charles Mackintosh belongs to which country? Charles Mackintosh belongs to Scotland country. Scotland. Okay, it is one name of country. Charles Mackintosh is a Scottish chemist. Charles Mackintosh belongs to which country? Scotland. Next, in which year Charles Mackintosh discovered waterproof garments? Important year. In which year Charles Mackintosh discovered waterproof garments. In the year 1823. Last and final bit. Who discovered PVC? Final bit. Who discovered PVC. I will explain again. Who discovered PVC? PVC means P for poly, V for vinyl, C for chloride. Whenever you hear the word PVC pipes in advertisements, PVC pipes which are useful for bore wells and also other purposes. Okay, PVC. P for poly, V for vinyl, C for chloride. This is a very important abbreviation. Okay, who discovered PVC? Waldo L. Simon. Who discovered PVC? Scientist name Waldo L. Simon. Waldo L. Simon. Who discovered PVC? Waldo L. Simon. Who discovered waterproof garments? Charles Mackintosh. Homework for you. Write all the definitions present in all the 3 chapters. That is rain lesson, simply evaporation, sublimation and also condensation definitions. In separation of mixture lesson, what is the definition of mixture? What is the definition of winnowing? What is the definition of sieving? What is the definition of sedimentation? What is the definition of decantation? In fiber to fabric lesson, what is the definition of fiber? What is the definition of air? What is the definition of fabric? What is the definition of spinning? What is the definition of ginning? What is the definition of weaving? Write all the definitions in A4 paper. It is acts as a project work. Okay, with this we completed these 3 lessons. That means your chemistry syllabus is completed. Prepare at your home. All the best, students. Thank you so much.